Okay, take two. So I've decided to do some movie reviews throughout. I'm going to try and do it throughout the year. Every time I see a new film, or at least maybe once a week, I'm going to try and do a little 5-minute review of the movie, just to see whether I can re-engage my brain into trying to be creative from a linguistic point of view, for lack of a better word. But anyway, last night I went to see Paul Thomas Anderson's film Liquorice Pizza. I thought it was extremely good. I thought it was fucking fantastic, actually, to be honest. I liked it way more than I thought I was going to like it. I haven't seen many Paul Thomas Anderson films. I actually saw There Will Be Blood for the first time in 2021. And I thought, obviously, I mean, it's no doubt a fantastic film. I think I'd like to see that film again because I watched it with my friend Toby and he didn't let me put subtitles on, and I think I probably would have enjoyed it more if I knew exactly what was happening every single time, because there's a lot of dialogue in that film and there's a lot to follow. But anyway, I'm not talking about that film. I'm trying to think if I've seen any other. Oh yeah, I guess the only other Paul Thomas Anderson film I've seen is Phantom Thread, which I thought was very, very good as well. But I won't go into that one too much detail. That's my review of that film. Is basically it's ASMR the movie, and Daniel Day-Lewis is obviously a fantastic actor in anything he's in. So anyway, Liquorice Pizza. It's about two people, one 15-year-old boy and one 25-year-old woman, in I think early 1970s Los Angeles, more kind of suburban Los Angeles, it seems anyway. And there's no real structure or plot. I guess there's a structure in a sense, but there's no real plot. There's no overarching plot to the film other than just the relationship of these two characters. In the first scene, I was a little bit worried because I thought, oh, I can't understand what's happening. I don't know. I can't hear what the actors are really saying. But that kind of disappeared immediately after the two main characters started having the conversation with each other. And I was pretty much hooked from beginning to end at that point. It's a fairly long film. It's a good 2 hours, 10 minutes. It might have been slightly better if it was maybe had 10 minutes shaved off. Some of the really crazy set pieces maybe go on a little bit too long, but to be honest, I feel like they're supposed to be, I guess, outlandish and wacky for... Oh no, they're intentionally wacky and outlandish anyway. There were some cool cameos. I mean, I really dislike Sean Penn for some reason. I can't really pin down exactly why. I don't think I've seen many films he's in. I think I just don't like him as a person from what I've heard about him. But anyway, his cameo was probably the only one I wasn't too bothered by, but all the others I thought were really brilliant. The two main characters, I think he's called Cooper Hoffman. So he's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. And I knew that before I went to see the film, but I wasn't thinking about it during the film. I think I must have forgotten. He was fucking fantastic. He was really, really charismatic. And one of those kind of characters that you know that if you met them in real life, you'd kind of, on first meeting, you might find them to be a complete cocky prick and not really want to be friends with them, but then you get to know them a bit better and they are actually quite nice people, deep down anyway. But Alana Haim plays the 25-year-old woman in the film, the other main character, and I thought she was fantastic. I don't know if she's ever been in a film before or acted in a film before, but she was extremely natural. It felt like she had been acting in loads of films before. I don't know if this is kind of a spoiler, but I didn't know it going in, but the other two Haim sisters are also in the film, playing they almost feel kind of just like background characters. I mean, that's another thing to mention about the film, is that other than the main two characters, every other character in the film is fairly, I'd say it's not too harsh to say they're fairly two-dimensional. I'm trying to think, maybe I'm wrong about one or two, but that almost seems kind of intentional as well, because the story really is focused on those two people. The only other person that really kind of has a fair amount of depth to his character is the mayor, the guy who's running for mayor. Anyway, I don't know if anyone's seen this film yet, so this is probably lost on everyone watching this review, but he is the guy who directed Good Time and that film, Uncut Gems. Benny Safdie, I think he's called. He's got a very interesting face. But that's another point about this film. So there's a lot of close-ups, especially in dialogue-driven scenes, and he, the director, really lingers on people's faces for an extended period of time, and it's quite... well, how to describe it? I mean, it's kind of gross in a way, but also captivating, because you can see every little freckle and every little line and every pimple and every mole on every person's face, and it's very unglamorous but very relatable, because we've all looked at our faces like that in that much detail, and it's interesting to see all these mega famous people and the contours of their wrinkles in their face. Anyway, the other two girls from Heimer in the film, and their parents as well, which was strange. I didn't know that going in, but it was, I could see how that would annoy people in a way, that they decided to do that, because it's like, oh, they just made this film to make a film about the Heim family, and maybe that was the case. I don't know if he wrote the film with them in mind, but I thought it really worked, because they kind of symbolize that family, or at least the three girls symbolize that romanticized idea of Hollywood, and the romantic idea of talented artists and breaking through and, you know, expressing themselves. I could talk about this film for a long time, actually, but I'm going to try and keep it really brief. Overall, I thought it was exceptional. Really good film to start the year with. Films are always heightened by going to see them in the cinema. I'd like to try and go to the cinema a bit more. It was quite difficult, obviously, the last 2 years to go and see films in the cinema. But yeah, that's a recommendation, I think. I don't really know if this was very coherent or not, but I'm going to keep doing it, or at least try to keep doing it if I wasn't too embarrassed by this when it goes up. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably give it, I was probably very hyperbolic, but how good I'm making out to be, but I probably would give it a 9 out of 10. I did really, really, really enjoy it. So yeah, peace.